Hello, welcome to Anth 395B, the Anthropology of Food. We're going to talk about food and culture, eating and seeing like an anthropologist. I'm really excited to begin this semester, and I hope you are too. I'm your instructor, Mary Good. Are you ready to begin? Let's go. So first, again, I'd like to welcome you to the Anthropology of Food. If you've gotten this far, then you know the class is going to be conducted entirely online, and so you will need to know a little bit of different information. You might not be used to taking online classes, or you might have had a few others before, but this class might be a little bit different from what you're used to. So we'll go over a few basics to get started. Or if we're thinking about cooking and food already, we could call it Grandma's Good Old-Fashioned Recipe for Success in an Online Class. Alright, so let's get down to the start. First, this class is online. It will be conducted entirely online through D2L. However, it is not self-paced. That means that you will have activities to complete each week, assignments, readings, and lecture modules that you will be responsible for each week. It will be important to keep on track with things. Now, this class will be fun, but it will also require work. You may have gotten into this class because you have an interest in anthropology. You might be an anthropology major, or you could be a food and nutrition major. You could be something completely unrelated and just find food and cooking and baking and all those kinds of things fascinating. Maybe you watch Anthony Bourdain, or maybe you've read some of Michael Pollan's work. This will all help you, but you'll have to remember that this is also an academic class, so you'll have to expect to do a little work that might sometimes be challenging. One tip that I might give you from the times that I've taught this class before is that students often find it really helpful if you set yourself a schedule. Even though you won't have to go into a classroom and sit in a classroom for a lecture, you will still have to do different things each week, and so it might help you if you set aside particular blocks of time to do the work for this class. It's also going to be important to read your syllabus carefully. You can find that on D2L. And the syllabus may look a little bit long for a class, but because we won't be meeting in the classroom, it's important to read that whole syllabus carefully just so you know what's going on. You can also refer back to it throughout the term so that you will be able to figure out what is required of you. And as in every class you take here at the University of Arizona, if you have questions, just ask. There will be a number of different ways that you can contact me and that you'll be able to talk to your fellow students as well throughout the course. And so there are multiple opportunities for you to ask a question. Don't be afraid. You can ask anything that you want that relates to the class. Alright, so the first thing that we need to know is that D2L is where it's at. So our class will run a little bit differently. Because we're starting the semester on a Wednesday, our weeks for this class will run from midnight on Wednesday until 11:59 p.m. on the following Tuesday. This will give you a weekend sort of in the middle of the class week so that if you work or if you have other commitments or, if you're taking other classes, that you'll have a little bit of extra time when you can complete assignments for each week. I hope this works well for you, and I'll be interested to see how you feel about this kind of week, this schedule for the class. So there will be a few different components that we'll use on D2L. First, you'll have the news page. This will be the front page once you access our course site. And this will give you important announcements about upcoming assignments or if there are specific things that you should be watching out for throughout the week. Next, you'll have content. Content is going to be where you will find your readings, most of your readings at least, and also copies of the syllabus, assignment handouts, and other kinds of important electronic documents. And so this will be really helpful for you. This will be where you will also find the lecture modules. Each week you will have one of these short presentations that you will have to watch, and it will be a good idea to watch the lecture module first before beginning the readings so that you can kind of be oriented to what you'll be thinking about during the week. They'll give you questions to think about and sort of give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about with regards to the readings. Next, you'll have discussions. These discussions are discussion boards if you've used D2L before, where you can post comments and talk to your other classmates. So this is going to be a little bit different from other online classes that you might have taken where you're just completing assignments on your own. While we will not have group projects, you will be expected to take part in a conversation with your fellow students so you can get to know them a little bit better. Once you go to D2L, you'll be able to see that you've already been put into randomly assigned groups of 12 or 13 students, since there are 50 students in total that are taking this class. You'll talk with them over the course of the semester in required groups. This will kind of take the place of a classroom discussion. I think that classroom discussion is really important and interesting for kind of synthesizing what we're learning over the course of the semester and really understanding the topics. So this discussion will help take the place of that if we were in a real classroom. Okay, you will also have quizzes. You'll have 10 quizzes over the course of the semester, one about each week. You will not have a quiz if you have something else due, so another assignment, you would have the assignment due instead of a quiz. And we'll talk a little bit more about your assignments and quizzes. There's also more information on this in your syllabus, which of course you'll read carefully, I'm sure. So the quizzes will be online completely, and they will cover the information that is in your lecture modules, in your readings, and then also if we watch movies over the course of the week or do other kinds of activities. So it will be important to do the quiz only after you've done all of the other activities throughout the week. Next, you will see a tab for Dropbox. You will have 4 homework assignments along with your quizzes over the course of the semester. These will be short observation and analysis assignments where you'll have to go out and become an anthropologist. So you'll go and look specifically for certain kinds of things having to do with food and culture, and then you'll report back in a short homework assignment. And you will have to upload these through Dropbox. More on that in the weeks to come. And finally, some of you might be waiting for this one, grades. You'll be able to monitor your grades through D2L, and you'll be able to see what each sort of assignment or quiz is worth and how you did. This will let you keep track of how you're doing throughout the semester, and so there are really no surprises in this class. Your grading will be based on your discussion board participation, your quizzes, your short homework assignments, and that's just about it. So steady progress and a steady kind of work attitude is really important in this class. We don't have a final exam, which I'm sure you'll be happy to hear, and there are no other exams in the class either. I don't really think that it's a good evaluation of what you're really learning in this class. So instead of having exams, you'll just have these short assignments and activities throughout the semester. I hope that makes you happy. Okay, so now that we've gotten some of the logistics out of the way, now we get to the fun stuff. Why should we study food in the first place? Well, you might have multiple kinds of reasons that you decided to take this course, and I'd be interested in hearing about those in your introductory post on D2L. But why should we study food as anthropologists? Well, to start out, all